And when you do, no one can ever take it away. The world may try to convince you that strength means silence, submission, or compromise, but true strength is found in honesty, boundaries, fierce self-respect. It is the courage to say no when your soul demands it, and the grace to walk away from anything that diminishes your light. When you stop allowing fear to dictate your choices, you step into a new realm where your voice matters, your feelings are valid, and your dreams are worth chasing. This transformation is not easy, but it is necessary. It is the path to freedom. Freedom from betrayal, from doubt, and from the need for external approval. Your mind holds immense power. It is where thoughts become reality and beliefs shape your future. If you continue to tell yourself that you are not enough, that you are broken or unworthy, you will remain trapped in a cycle of pain and disappointment. But when you begin to feed your mind with truth about your strength, your value, your resilience, you rewrite the story of your life. You create a mindset that attracts respect, loyalty, and love that mirrors your worth. This mental shift is the catalyst for real change. It turns wounds into wisdom and scars into symbols of survival. The courage to change your story also means embracing your imperfections. You are human. You have fears, doubts, and moments of weakness, but these do not define you. What defines you is your refusal to let them control your destiny. Every time you choose self-love over self-doubt, you build an unbreakable foundation for your future. You begin to understand that being strong does not mean never falling. It means rising every time you fall stronger and more determined than before. This is the essence of true power. You are not alone in this journey. The strength you cultivate within creates ripples that inspire others to find their own courage. Your healing, your growth, your refusal to settle for less, these become a beacon for those searching for hope and empowerment. When you rise, you lift others with you, creating a chain of strength that cannot be broken. This collective power transforms lives, communities, and ultimately the world. So choose to rise, choose to stand tall in your truth, and walk boldly into the life you deserve. Your strength is not just your salvation, it is your gift to the world, and it is unstoppable. You have come to understand that strength is not just about enduring pain, but about transforming it into a force that propels you forward. This transformation begins when you refuse to be defined by the actions of others. When a man chooses weakness over strength, when he seeks to betray, it is never a reflection of your shortcomings. It is a reflection of his fear and inability to grow. But you are not here to accept someone else's limitations. You are here to rise above them, to reclaim your power, and to live a life that demands respect and honor. This is your moment to break free from the chains of doubt and step into the full magnitude of your worth. To do this, you must learn to recognize the signs of true weakness: manipulation, avoidance, and dishonesty. These are not signs of power. They are cries for help from a place of insecurity. When you identify these behaviors, you protect yourself from being trapped in cycles of pain. You build walls not to isolate, but to safeguard the sacred space of your heart. This protection is an act of self-love, not bitterness. It allows you to choose connection based on authenticity and respect rather than fear and dependence. This choice is the gateway to healthier relationships and deeper fulfillment. Your strength also grows from understanding your emotional triggers and fears. Often, betrayal preys on the gaps left by low self-esteem and the fear of abandonment. When you heal these wounds, you create a foundation so solid that no external force can shake it. This healing is a commitment to yourself, a promise to nurture your soul and prioritize your well-being. It means seeking the truths that empower you, letting go of toxic patterns, embracing the discomfort that growth demands. Healing is not easy, but it is necessary. It clears the path for the authentic connections you deserve. The courage to heal requires honesty with yourself. It means confronting painful truths without judgment and accepting that you cannot control the actions of others, only your response to them. This awareness frees you from the burden of blame and opens the door to empowerment. When you no longer define yourself by betrayal or loss, you redefine your narrative with strength, resilience, and hope. You become the author of your own story, writing chapters filled with courage, self-respect, and unwavering belief in your value. Ultimately, the power you seek is already within you. It is waiting for your permission to rise. This power is not about control over others, but mastery over your own mind and emotions. It is the ability to stand tall when faced with adversity, to love fiercely without losing yourself, and to create boundaries that honor your spirit. When you embrace this power, you attract those who honor you in return. You become a magnet for respect, loyalty, and genuine love because you first offer it to yourself. This cycle of self-love and respect transforms not just your relationships, but your entire life. Remember, your strength is your revolution. It is the key to breaking free from pain and stepping into a life of dignity and fulfillment. Choose to stand in this truth every day. Choose to walk forward with courage, knowing that the strongest woman is not the one who never falls, but the one who rises every single time. Your power is unstoppable, and your future is limitless. The path to true strength begins with an unshakable belief in yourself, an understanding that your value is not dependent on anyone's approval or validation. When you internalize this, you create a fortress around your spirit that no betrayal or deceit can penetrate. This belief is not born out of arrogance or denial, but from the deep recognition that you are whole and worthy just as you are. The moment you claim this truth, you shift from being a victim of circumstances to the master of your destiny. This shift transforms pain into power and loss into a new beginning. You must learn to guard your energy fiercely. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. The world will constantly test your boundaries, pushing you to accept less than you deserve. Each time you hold firm, you reclaim a piece of your soul. This defense is not about shutting people out, but about protecting the sacred space where your dreams and peace reside. When you respect yourself enough to demand honesty, loyalty, and respect, you create a powerful signal to the universe. You show that you will no longer tolerate betrayal, not because you are bitter, but because you are brave enough to stand for your worth. Your mind is a battlefield where fear and courage wage war. Fear tries to convince you that you are broken, that you are unlovable, that you must settle for less to avoid loneliness. Courage whispers a different truth, that you are worthy of unwavering love, respect, and loyalty. Choosing courage over fear every single day is a radical act of self-love. It is a decision to reject the lies that have held you captive and embrace the truth of your strength. This choice demands vulnerability, but it also promises growth, healing, freedom. It is in this space that your true power emerges. Healing is not a destination, it is a journey of continuous self-discovery and growth. It requires patience, compassion, relentless determination. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory against the wounds of the past. By embracing this journey, you transform pain into wisdom and scars into symbols of resilience. You learn to trust yourself again, to honor your feelings, to build relationships that uplift rather than diminish you. This healing fuels your transformation and sets the foundation for a life filled with authenticity and joy. Every boundary you set is an act of courage. Every time you say no to what harms you and yes to what nourishes your soul, you rewrite the rules of your life. You declare that your happiness and peace are non-negotiable. This fierce commitment to self-respect sends a powerful message, not just to others, but to yourself. It affirms that you are the author of your story, and you will no longer allow anyone to write chapters of betrayal or pain. This realization ignites a fire within, pushing you to create a life defined by strength, dignity, and love. Your strength is a beacon. It draws people who honor your worth and repels those who seek to diminish it. When you stand in your power, you attract connections rooted in respect and genuine care. This transformation is not just personal, it is revolutionary. Changes how you see yourself and how the world sees you. It opens the door to a future where you are no longer defined by betrayal, but by the fierce, unbreakable woman you have become. Your journey is your power, and it is unstoppable. The power to change your life begins when you realize that forgiveness is not about excusing betrayal, but about freeing yourself from its chains. Holding onto anger and resentment only keeps you trapped in the pain, anchoring your spirit to a past that no longer serves you. Forgiveness is a radical act of self-liberation. It allows you to release the weight of bitterness and reclaim your energy for growth and healing. This is not about forgetting what happened, but about choosing peace over pain, strength over suffering. When you forgive, you do not weaken yourself, You empower your soul to rise above the wounds inflicted by others. Within forgiveness lies the key to reclaiming your identity. Betrayal can make you question who you are, shaking the foundation of your self-worth. But you must remember your identity is not built on the actions of someone else. It is rooted in your values, your dreams, and the courage you show every day. The man who betrays is lost in his own shadows, but you have the power to shine light into your life. By choosing forgiveness, you step out of the victim's role and into the role of a warrior, one who fights not with anger, but with grace and resilience. This choice rewires your mind and soul, preparing you for the next level of your personal evolution. Self-respect is the armor you wear when walking through the fires of betrayal. It protects your heart from being shattered again and again. When you set clear boundaries, you declare to the world that your peace is sacred. This armor is forged through consistent actions, standing firm in your values, refusing to accept disrespect, and honoring your emotions without apology. The moment you wear this armor, you become untouchable to those who seek to exploit weakness. Your confidence radiates, drawing in only those who respect and cherish your strength. This is the magnetism of a woman who knows her worth and refuses to settle for anything less. The mind is a powerful ally in this journey. When trained to focus on your growth rather than the hurt, it becomes a tool for transformation. Negative thoughts can be relentless, but they are only thoughts, not truths. Challenge them with affirmations of your strength, your beauty, and your courage. This mental discipline rewires your brain, creating new pathways towards self, love, and empowerment. It is in this mental battlefield that the real war is won, when you silence doubt and amplify belief. This victory cannot be taken from you, no matter what others do or say. Your emotions are your compass, guiding you toward what is real and true. Allow yourself to feel deeply without judgment or suppression. Pain, anger, sadness are not signs of weakness, but signals that healing is necessary. When you honor these emotions, you honor yourself. This emotional honesty opens the door to profound growth. It teaches you resilience and compassion, both for yourself and for others. It strengthens your spirit and prepares you for relationships built on authenticity and mutual respect. The journey to reclaiming your power after betrayal is not easy, but it is the most important journey you will ever take. Every step you take toward forgiveness, self-respect, mental strength, and emotional honesty builds an unbreakable foundation. This foundation supports the life you deserve, a life filled with love that uplifts, respect that empowers, peace that nurtures. Your strength is not defined by the pain you endured, but by the courage with which you rise. This courage is your legacy, your gift, and your future. It is time to embrace it fully and walk forward as the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. True strength is born from within, not from the approval or validation of others. When a man chooses to betray a woman he sees as weak, it reveals his own fear and insecurity, not her value. You must understand this deeply. Their actions are a reflection of their weakness, not yours. You are not defined by the choices someone else makes. Your power lies in owning your worth and refusing to let anyone else diminish it. The world may try to tell you that being strong means never showing pain or vulnerability, but real strength is the courage to face your hurt head on and still stand tall. It is the quiet determination to rebuild yourself piece by piece, stronger than before. The way forward is to focus on building unshakable confidence that comes from knowing who you are. Confidence is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. It grows when you honor your needs, your boundaries, and your dreams without apology. Every time you say no to what does not serve your peace, you grow stronger. Every time you choose self-love over self-doubt, you take a step closer to freedom. This confidence will make you magnetic to those who truly deserve your presence, people who will cherish your light and never attempt to dim it. It is a shield against betrayal and a beacon of hope for better relationships. Healing requires patience and persistence because transformation is rarely instant. It asks you to be gentle with yourself in moments of pain and relentless in your pursuit of growth. Healing is the process of turning wounds into wisdom, scars into strength. It is about learning to trust yourself again, rebuilding the foundation of your life on values that empower rather than weaken you. You deserve to surround yourself with love that nourishes your soul, respect that honors your boundaries, and kindness that uplifts your spirit. This is not a distant dream, but an achievable reality when you commit to your own growth. Your mind is a battlefield, but you hold the power to control the war. Thoughts that tell you you are not enough are lies rooted in fear. Challenge those thoughts daily. Replace doubt with belief, fear with courage, and despair with hope. This mental discipline creates a mindset where growth thrives and setbacks become lessons, not dead ends. With every positive thought you nurture, you feed your soul the strength it needs to rise above pain and betrayal. This is the most powerful transformation. When your mind becomes your greatest ally, propelling you toward a future filled with possibility and self-respect, the emotions you feel are valid and important, but they do not have to control your destiny. Pain, anger, sadness, these are natural responses to betrayal, but they do not have to define your story. You have the power to choose how you respond to these emotions. When you allow yourself to feel fully and then consciously decide to move forward, you reclaim control over your life. This act of choosing growth over suffering is the ultimate form of empowerment. It transforms wounds into wings, allowing you to soar above the past and embrace a future of endless potential. Remember, your strength is your legacy. It is not the absence of pain, the presence of courage that defines you. You are a force of nature, resilient, powerful, and worthy of unwavering love. The moment you embrace this truth, you begin to rewrite your story with intention and hope. You become unstoppable, not because life is easy, but because you are strong enough to face whatever comes with grace and dignity. This is the journey you were meant to take, the journey of becoming your most powerful self. Every moment you spend doubting your worth is a moment stolen from your power. It is easy to fall into the trap of self-blame and confusion, wondering why someone chose to betray you. But remember, their choice reveals more about their emptiness than about your value. When a man cheats on a woman he perceives as weak, he is seeking control where he feels powerless. He is trying to fill a void within himself with something external, hoping to hide from his own insecurities. This is not your burden to carry. Your strength is not measured by someone else's inability to respect you. It is measured by your ability to rise above their betrayal and reclaim your life with dignity. You are not broken. You are awakening. Pain is not your prison. It is your catalyst. Each tear that falls is watering the seeds of your transformation. Every ache in your heart is a signal that you are ready to break free from old patterns that no longer serve you. The path to true strength is paved with honest self-reflection, self-love, and the unwavering decision to refuse to be a victim of circumstance. When you begin to understand that your value is inherent and unshakable, you stop seeking validation from those who cannot see your worth. This shift is the foundation of your healing and the birth of your power. Let your scars be reminders not of your weakness, but of your survival. They are proof that you endured the storm and stood back up. This mindset rewires your brain to focus on growth rather than pain. It fuels resilience, which is the true mark of strength. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity with more wisdom, more compassion, and more determination. It is not about forgetting what happened or pretending it did not hurt. It is about choosing to use that hurt as a stepping stone toward a better future. When you embrace resilience, you transform your narrative from one of victimhood to one of victory. Your emotions will try to pull you down, but you have the power to decide which feelings you nurture and which you release. Anger can become fuel for change. Sadness can deepen your empathy. Fear can sharpen your courage. These emotions are not weaknesses. They are raw materials for rebuilding yourself stronger than before. This transformation requires patience, but every small step forward compounds into unstoppable momentum. Trust in this process. Believe that the pain you feel today is preparing you for the joy and freedom you will experience tomorrow. Your inner strength is growing with every breath you take, every decision you make, and every boundary you set. True power is found in taking back control of your story. It is the courage to set new standards for how you allow others to treat you. It is the wisdom to walk away from anything that diminishes your light. This is not about bitterness or revenge. It is about self-respect and self-care. When you choose yourself first, you send a clear message that you deserve love that uplifts, respect that honors, and loyalty that never falters. This choice ignites a fire within you that cannot be extinguished. It attracts people who see your strength and want to stand beside it, not break it. You are becoming the author of your destiny, and this power is yours to claim. The truth you need to hear is this: your strength is not defined by what others do to you, but by how you respond. When a man chooses to betray a woman he sees as weak, he is revealing his own fear and cowardice. But you are not bound by his choices or his failures. You hold the key to your freedom, and it lies in the power of your mind and heart. Every time you feel shattered by betrayal, remember that healing begins when you reclaim your narrative. Stop letting his actions write your story. Instead, write it yourself with courage, with self-respect, and with a fierce determination to rise higher. Weakness is not the absence of pain or struggle. It is the absence of courage to confront that pain and grow from it. You are not weak because someone chose to betray you. You are human. To be human is to feel deeply, to love fiercely, and sometimes to face heartbreak. But what sets you apart is your capacity to stand tall, to refuse to let betrayal define your worth, and to embrace the challenge of rebuilding with grace. This is your moment to transform pain into power. The pain you feel is real, but it will not last forever unless you allow it to control you. You are stronger than any hurt, stronger than any disappointment. The power to heal is within you, and it begins with forgiveness, not for him, but for yourself. Forgiveness is not about excusing betrayal or forgetting what happened. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of anger and resentment that weigh you down. Holding on to bitterness only keeps you trapped in a cycle of pain. Forgive to reclaim your peace. Forgive to open the door to your future. When you release the grip of past wounds, you create space for love, for joy, and for a renewed sense of self-worth. This freedom is priceless, and it is yours to claim the moment you decide. Self-love is your greatest weapon against weakness. When you nurture your soul, protect your boundaries, and honor your needs, you build an unshakable foundation. Self-love is not selfish. It is necessary. It teaches you that you deserve respect, loyalty, and honesty. It gives you the courage to walk away from anything less. No longer will you settle for crumbs when you are meant for abundance. No longer will you allow someone else's choices to diminish your light. Instead, you will shine so brightly that those who cannot match your energy will fade away, revealing who truly belongs in your life. This journey of transformation is not easy. It is deeply rewarding. Every step forward is a testament to your resilience and your refusal to accept anything that does not serve your highest good. You are rewriting your story, not as a victim, but as a victor. This is your time to rise with unwavering strength and unbreakable spirit. Stand firm in your truth. Know that your power grows with every breath you take, every boundary you set, and every choice you make to honor yourself. The man who chooses to betray a weak woman does not define you. Your courage and growth do. And that truth will carry you through every storm, lighting your way to a future filled with respect, love, and endless possibility. True strength is invisible. It cannot be measured by outward appearances or defined by others' perceptions. Real strength lives quietly inside you, in your ability to choose yourself every day, to honor your worth when the world tries to tell you otherwise. When a man chooses to betray a woman he sees as weak, it is a reflection of his own brokenness, not yours. You are not responsible for his actions or his choices. What matters most is how you rise above them. The power to rebuild your life and your spirit is already inside you, waiting to be claimed. This power is not loud or flashy. It is steady, unwavering, and deeply rooted in self-respect and courage. You have the right to demand more than being someone's option or convenience. The moment you start seeing yourself as whole and complete, not dependent on anyone else for validation, is when you become truly untouchable. Weakness is often a mask worn by those who lack self-awareness or the willingness to grow. They look for easy targets because they fear confrontation with their own shortcomings. But you are not here to be anyone's safety net or emotional crutch. You are here to build a life so strong that betrayal no longer wounds you as deeply. Your heart can feel pain. It can also heal, grow, and love again with greater wisdom. Every time you face betrayal, you are given a choice to fall deeper into pain or to rise above it. The courage to rise is not found in denial or ignoring your feelings. It is found in acknowledging your pain, embracing your truth, and then choosing to move forward with intention. Your journey towards strength starts with honesty with yourself about what you need, what you deserve, and what you will no longer accept. This clarity creates a foundation that no one can shake. When you refuse to settle for less, you open the door for better. You set a new standard, not just for others, but for yourself. Healing is a process, and patience is your ally. You will have moments of doubt, moments when the weight of betrayal feels unbearable. But these moments do not define your story. What defines you is your persistence to keep going, your refusal to let pain harden your heart, and your commitment to becoming the strongest version of yourself. The more you nurture your self-worth, the less power others have to diminish you. When you learn to stand alone with pride, you send a powerful message to the world. You are not here to be broken or used. You are here to thrive. Imagine the freedom of waking up every day knowing your value cannot be questioned or stolen. Imagine the peace that comes from no longer living in fear of betrayal because you have built emotional armor forged in self-love and wisdom. This is not a distant dream. It is your future. It begins the moment you decide to stop chasing approval and start chasing growth. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a force of nature capable of rising beyond betrayal, beyond pain, and beyond anyone's attempt to undermine your spirit. This is your truth, your power, your unshakable strength. Hold on to it, nurture it, and watch as it transforms your life in ways you never thought possible. When you understand that your value is not determined by anyone else's actions, a profound shift begins within you. The moment you stop seeking approval from those who do not appreciate your worth, you reclaim the power that was quietly slipping away. Weakness is not a flaw within you. It is a sign that your boundaries have been compromised. Every time you let someone disrespect your heart, you allow yourself to shrink, to dim your own light to avoid conflict or loss. But your light was never meant to be dimmed. It was meant to shine unapologetically bright, revealing the strength you hold inside. Choosing to stop accepting less is not about building walls. It is about setting firm boundaries that protect your spirit from harm and nurture your growth. The men who choose to cheat on those they see as weak are often driven by their own insecurities. They crave control, dominance, validation because they have not found these within themselves. They seek to fill a void with fleeting moments of power over others. Their choices reveal their fear of genuine connection and their inability to face themselves honestly. This reality does not diminish your value. It highlights their failure to recognize true strength when it stands before them. Strength is not about perfection or unshakable resilience at every moment. It is about the courage to stand tall in your truth even when you are vulnerable. When you embody this courage, you become a force that commands respect and demands authenticity. Letting go of someone who betrays you is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of profound strength. It is the courageous refusal to remain in a space where you are undervalued and unseen. You deserve relationships that elevate your spirit, that challenge you to grow and celebrate your true self. Holding on to those who choose betrayal only weighs you down and draining your energy and clouding your vision. Freedom begins when you decide that your peace and happiness matter more than anyone else's approval or validation. It is the decision to step into your power, to rewrite the story of your worth with boldness and clarity. Self-love is the foundation upon which all strength is built. It is not selfish or vain. It is necessary. When you cultivate deep love for yourself, you create a magnetic energy that draws in respect, loyalty, and genuine connection. This love empowers you to walk away from anything that does not serve your growth or honor your essence. It teaches you to listen to your inner voice, to trust your instincts, to prioritize your well-being. This process is not easy, but it is essential. It requires vulnerability, honesty, and persistence. Yet with every step you take toward loving yourself more fully, you build an unbreakable fortress around your heart. Imagine a life where betrayal no longer controls your emotions or decisions. A life where your strength shines through every challenge, inspiring others and empowering you to reach your highest potential. This life is waiting for you. It is not distant or unreachable. It begins now. The choices you make today to value yourself beyond measure, you have the power to transform pain into purpose, hurt into healing, and weakness into unwavering strength. This is your journey. Own it. Embrace it. Live it boldly. because your future is nothing less than extraordinary. What if the key to breaking free from betrayal lies not in changing others, in transforming how you see yourself, when you begin to understand that your worth is independent of anyone else's choices, you step into a realm of true freedom. This is the moment when the chains of doubt and pain start to dissolve, replaced by a fierce commitment to your own healing and growth. It is in this space that you reclaim your narrative, no longer a victim of someone else's weakness, but a warrior of your own destiny. This transformation is not just about survival. It is about thriving beyond what you thought possible. Recognize that the men who betray are often mirrors reflecting what has been neglected inside you. They prey on unhealed wounds, on silence where boundaries should stand, fear disguised as acceptance. But this reflection is not your truth. It is an invitation to awaken, to fill your own cup with love, respect, power so overflowing that no one else's actions can diminish it. When you nourish your spirit with unshakable self-belief, you become immune to the toxic patterns that once held you captive. This is not about blaming yourself. It is about embracing responsibility for your own growth. You are not powerless. You are the author of your response, and your response shapes your reality. Strength is cultivated through discomfort. It is forged in the fires of disappointment and betrayal, tempered by resilience and self-compassion. Accept that healing is neither linear nor quick. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when the temptation to shrink back into old patterns feels overwhelming. But each time you choose to stand firm, to love yourself fiercely despite the wounds, you build muscles of emotional resilience that no one can break. This strength will ripple outwards, transforming every relationship you enter, every challenge you face, every dream you pursue. It will make you a beacon of light for others who are lost in their own darkness. When you commit to valuing yourself deeply, you set a standard that others cannot ignore. This standard is not arrogance, it is clarity. It signals to the world that you refuse to settle for anything less than respect, honesty, love rooted in truth. This clarity protects you from toxic cycles, from relationships that drain rather than uplift. It also invites in those who are ready to meet you with the same authenticity and courage you bring. By holding yourself in high regard, you magnetize opportunities for growth, joy, genuine connection that were invisible before. This is how transformation takes root and flourishes. Imagine a future where betrayal no longer defines your story, where your inner strength commands the respect you deserve, and where your self-love serves as an unbreakable foundation for every aspect of your life. This future is possible. It is within reach right now, waiting for you to claim it. You possess an infinite well of power that can turn the pain of the past into the fuel for your greatest transformation. The path is yours to walk. Embrace it with courage. Live it with passion, because the world needs the unstoppable force that you are becoming, and your best days are still ahead. True transformation demands more than just recognizing your worth. It requires unwavering commitment to protect it at every turn. This means no longer tolerating the whispers of doubt that try to convince you to lower your standards. It means rejecting the familiar pull of toxic relationships disguised as comfort. The road ahead is not easy. It challenges the deepest parts of your psyche that crave approval and fear abandonment. But every time you choose yourself over the easy way, you reinforce a powerful truth. You are worthy of love that uplifts, respect that honors, and peace that nourishes your soul. This commitment is the cornerstone of your rebirth. The walls you build around your heart are not barriers, they are boundaries. They are the sacred lines that declare where you end and where others begin. These boundaries are not about isolation, they are about preservation. When you enforce them, you create a sanctuary where your spirit can thrive without being polluted by betrayal, manipulation, or deceit. These invisible walls shield your energy, your dreams, your identity. They protect you from falling back into patterns that erode your confidence and distort your sense of reality. The strength to say no when something or someone threatens your peace is the foundation of true empowerment. In this space of self-protection, clarity emerges. You begin to see relationships through a new lens, one that filters out illusions and recognizes the essence of genuine connection. You no longer settle for empty promises or shallow words. Instead, you demand actions that match intentions, loyalty that withstands tests, and love that never wavers. This clarity sharpens your vision for the future. It ignites a hunger for authenticity so fierce that anything less feels unbearable. The people and opportunities that align with this vision will come to you naturally, drawn by the energy of your unyielding self respect. Healing is not a solo journey, but it requires solitude, a deliberate turning inward to confront your own truths. In this silence, you face your fears, your anger, your heartbreak without running away. You confront the shadows that betrayals cast over your soul and refuse to let them define you. This inner work cultivates resilience that no external circumstance can break. It anchors you in a sense of self that remains unshaken regardless of the storms that rage outside. This is the power of facing your pain head on. It transforms wounds into wisdom and weakness into strength. Imagine waking up each day knowing that you are the architect of your emotional landscape. Every decision, every boundary, every act of self, love adds a brick to the fortress of your integrity. This fortress does not imprison you, it liberates you. It grants you the freedom to choose joy over fear, growth over stagnation, and love over resentment. The life you build on this foundation is not only possible, it is inevitable. Because when you honor yourself with unwavering devotion, you become unstoppable. Your future becomes a testament to the power of reclaiming your story and rewriting it with courage, dignity, and unbreakable spirit. To truly honor your worth means to become fiercely protective of your inner world. It means refusing to hand over your peace to those who do not see it as sacred. When you guard your heart with uncompromising strength, you set a standard that reverberates beyond yourself. It teaches others how to treat you, and more importantly, how to treat themselves. This is not an act of selfishness, but an act of survival, a radical declaration that your emotional health is non-negotiable. Every moment you invest in protecting your boundaries is a moment spent reclaiming the power that was once diluted by neglect, by compromise, and by silence. Understand that protecting your worth is an act of courage that defies the instinct to please or to avoid conflict. It requires standing tall when fear whispers to shrink back, when loneliness threatens to suffocate, and when the familiar patterns pull you toward old wounds. But growth demands discomfort. The discomfort of saying no when yes feels safer, the discomfort of walking away when staying feels easier, the discomfort of facing your own truth when denial offers a tempting escape. This discomfort is not your enemy, it is the gateway to liberation. Every boundary you enforce, every standard you uphold is a step deeper into your own freedom. When you start living from this place of unshakable self-respect, something extraordinary happens. You begin to attract what you truly deserve, not out of desperation or wishful thinking, but as a natural consequence of your energy aligning with your values. The noise of approval seeking fades and clarity takes its place. You see clearly who deserves a seat at your table and who does not. You no longer waste your energy on relationships or situations that drain you because you have learned that your time and your spirit are priceless. This clarity is a compass guiding you toward connections that honor your worth and nourish your soul. Your emotional sanctuary grows stronger each day as you consistently choose what elevates you and reject what diminishes you. This sanctuary is not a fortress to keep others out, but a sacred space to keep your spirit intact. It is where you nurture your dreams, where you cultivate gratitude, where you reclaim your narrative. This internal refuge becomes your source of strength and peace, a place you return to no matter what external chaos swirls around you. In this sanctuary, your self-love deepens, and with it, your ability to give and receive love authentically expands. The journey of protecting your worth is not without trials. Each challenge is an invitation to rise higher. Every time you resist the urge to settle, every time you silence the inner critic that questions your value, you fortify your resilience. This resilience is the foundation of an unbreakable spirit. It empowers you to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and confidence, knowing that your worth is anchored within and not dependent on external validation. This is where true freedom lies, inside the unwavering belief that you are enough, wholly and unconditionally. From this place, you step boldly into the life you were always meant to live, a life marked by respect, love, and an unshakable sense of self. When you realize that your worth is not a fluctuating measurement, but a steady, unwavering truth, everything inside you shifts. Need for external approval no longer holds the power to define who you are or how you feel about yourself. This freedom is the beginning of true mastery over your own life. Imagine waking each day with a sense of certainty, a quiet confidence that no matter what happens outside, your value remains intact. This is not arrogance or pride. It is grounded self-awareness, an unshakable foundation from which all your actions, decisions, and relationships flow. This clarity gives you permission to be authentically you without masks or compromise. The energy you invest in doubt and insecurity drains your potential. Instead, choose to anchor yourself in the certainty that you are enough right now in this very moment. This shift in mindset rewires how you respond to challenges, rejection, and setbacks. You learn to see these not as reflections of your worth, but as opportunities for growth and learning. When failure no longer feels like a personal indictment, but a stepping stone, you begin to move with courage instead of hesitation. This courage propels you forward, dissolving fears that once held you captive, replacing them with a profound trust in your own resilience. Your mind becomes a battleground where old limiting beliefs confront new truths. The voice that once whispered, "I am not enough," grows quieter as you consistently affirm your value through your actions. Setting boundaries becomes a powerful declaration that you deserve respect and kindness, and enforcing them becomes an act of self-love. Every time you refuse to settle for less than you deserve, you reinforce the foundation of your self-worth. This internal discipline creates a ripple effect that touches every area of your life, relationships, career, health, and personal growth. There is no greater power than the power of self-respect. It is the force that protects you from toxicity, the compass that guides you toward environments and people who uplift and inspire you. It is the light that illuminates your path when uncertainty clouds your vision. When your actions align with your core values, you no longer drift aimlessly, but move with purpose and direction. This alignment is magnetic, drawing to you experiences and people who resonate with the highest version of yourself. It is a continuous cycle of giving and receiving respect, exchange that nurtures your soul and expands your capacity for joy. The journey to fully owning your worth requires relentless commitment to yourself. It demands that you hold steady even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. This is not about perfection, about perseverance, the steady refusal to let external circumstances dictate how you value yourself. With every step you take toward honoring your worth, you break free from the chains of doubt and limitation. You reclaim your story, writing it with boldness, clarity, and unwavering belief in your own greatness. This is where transformation begins, not in what you do, but in who you choose to be unapologetically and fully alive. When you truly embrace your own worth, the landscape of your inner world transforms from a place of conflict and self-doubt into a sanctuary of clarity and strength. This is not a passive state. It demands your full presence and unwavering commitment to protecting your energy and honoring your truth. The power you seek has been within you all along, buried beneath layers of conditioned beliefs and fear-driven choices. Now it's time to dig deep and unearth that power, allowing it to fuel every breath, every decision, every moment you inhabit. Your worth is not something you chase or plead for. It is a force that radiates from your core, undeniable and magnetic, shaping your reality with relentless precision. As you cultivate this profound self-respect, you begin to recognize the subtle ways you have diminished yourself to fit into molds that never belong to you. The approval you once sought from others loses its grip because you understand that your value cannot be given or taken away by anyone else. This freedom is revolutionary. It liberates you from the exhausting cycles of comparison, envy, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. You no longer tolerate relationships, environments, or habits that undermine your spirit because you know that to do so is to betray the very essence of who you are becoming. Every choice you make now carries the weight of honoring that inner promise to yourself first, above all else. This is where true transformation takes root, not in fleeting motivation or external validation, but in the deep, unwavering belief that you deserve to thrive. You move from survival to mastery, from reacting to proactively designing the life you crave. This shift changes everything: your mindset, your habits, your resilience. Challenges become the raw material for growth rather than triggers for retreat. obstacles sharpen your focus and fortify your resolve instead of fueling fear. When the storm rages outside, you stand firm inside, anchored by the knowledge that your strength is not dependent on circumstances, but born from your unshakable self-worth. The courage to uphold this truth demands that you confront discomfort head on. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. It requires stepping into the unknown, facing your fears, breaking patterns that no longer serve you. You might falter, you might stumble, but every time you rise, you reclaim more of your power. This process is sacred, act of rebellion against the lies that once held you hostage. With every conscious decision to honor yourself, you dismantle those barriers, brick by brick, till the foundation of your life rests on the rock-solid bedrock of self, love, and acceptance. This journey is your most profound act of self-respect. It calls for relentless honesty and uncompromising commitment to your highest potential. The transformation you seek is not about becoming someone new. It's about reclaiming who you were always meant to be, a radiant force of nature, capable of creating, healing, and inspiring. When you embody this truth fully, your life becomes a beacon, not just for your own freedom, but for those around you who are waiting for the courage to ignite their own. You hold that power now. Let it move through you with fierce intention, unwavering clarity, and limitless love. This is the essence of your true awakening. Every moment you spend doubting your worth is a moment stolen from your power. When you allow that uncertainty to linger, it seeps into every part of your existence, creating cracks where strength once lived. But what if you chose instead to refuse that doubt, to stare it down with unwavering certainty that you are enough? This refusal is not arrogance. It is radical self-honor. It demands a fierceness within that protects your dreams, your peace, and your very essence from erosion. The world will try to convince you that you must shrink to fit its expectations, but your soul knows the truth. To shrink is to die a little inside. You were born to expand, to break boundaries, to redefine what is possible, not just for yourself, but for everyone watching in silence, waiting for their own permission to rise. The resistance you face is real. It is not stronger than your will. Every challenge, every setback, every voice that tries to dim your light is an invitation to dig deeper into your reserves of courage. The path to transformation is paved with these confrontations because nothing worth having comes without cost. Yet, the price is never too high when measured against the magnitude of what you are becoming. You are stepping into a realm where your mindset shapes reality with precision and your actions echo with intention. This is the place where dreams stop being distant fantasies and start becoming your lived experience. It requires discipline, yes, but more than that, demands a heart that refuses to settle, a heart that beats in relentless pursuit of what ignites its fire. To hold this space for yourself, you must become vigilant about the stories you tell internally. Those narratives can either chain you to fear or liberate you into action. The voice inside your head has enormous power. It can be your fiercest ally or your cruelest enemy. Choose to nurture it with truth, with compassion, with belief that even when you stumble, you are worthy of grace and growth. This internal dialogue becomes the foundation of your resilience. When external circumstances try to shake you, your inner voice will be the steady anchor pulling you back to your center. This is where transformation takes root, in the quiet moments of self-talk, in the decisions you make when no one is watching, in the commitment you renew daily to honor your path. Every breakthrough you crave lies just beyond the discomfort of change. The pain of growth is temporary. The regret of not trying lasts forever. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. When you lean into that discomfort, you discover a strength you didn't know you had. It is forged in the fire of persistence, refined by the willingness to keep moving forward, even when the way feels uncertain. The momentum you build here is unstoppable, a force that will carry you through doubt, fatigue, and resistance. This is your moment to rise beyond limitations, to rewrite the narrative of your life with fierce determination and unapologetic self-belief. Embrace this power. Let it surge through you like a tidal wave, sweeping away everything that no longer serves your highest good. Stand tall in your truth and know that by doing so, you are not only transforming yourself, but creating a ripple effect of courage and possibility that extends far beyond what you can see. This is the birth of your new reality, bold, expansive, and utterly unstoppable. Claim it now. The energy that lives inside you is unlike anything else in this world. It is raw, untamed, fiercely alive, waiting for your permission to erupt into existence. But that energy is not some distant dream or fleeting spark. It is your birthright. It pulses beneath every doubt, beneath every fear, waiting for you to reach deep enough, brave enough to unleash it. The question is not if you have this power, but whether you will claim it today. Will you let it rise and push through the noise that tells you otherwise? Will you stand firm in the storm, knowing that your strength is greater than any challenge that tries to break you? This moment demands a choice to remain in the familiar shadows of hesitation, or to ignite the fierce flame of your true potential and burn through all barriers. Transformation is never comfortable. It demands a breaking down, a tearing apart of old beliefs, old patterns, old limits that have held you hostage. That breakdown is painful, yes. It is sacred because it is the birth of your new self. You must embrace that pain as a signpost of growth, not a signal to retreat. Each discomfort, each moment of resistance within, is a call to dig deeper, to hold tighter to your vision. This is where you prove to yourself that your desire is stronger than your excuses, stronger than the voices that have kept you small for far too long. The power to redefine your life is in your hands, in your mind, in the choices you make right now. Let that truth sink in. You are the architect of your destiny, the author of your story, and you have the strength to write it on your own terms. Your mind is the battlefield where victory is won or lost. Every thought, every belief, every mental habit shapes your reality. If you allow negative self-talk and doubt to dominate, they will build walls that imprison you. But if you cultivate thoughts of possibility, resilience, and self-worth, those same walls will crumble. This is the power of conscious choice. You can decide to feed your mind with hope, courage, and unwavering faith in your capacity to grow. The moment you do, everything shifts. Fear loses its grip, confidence takes its place. The invisible battle you fight within is the most crucial battle of all because it determines how you face the world. Strengthen your mind with daily practice, relentless positivity, and a refusal to accept anything less than your absolute best. Action is the fuel that turns dreams into reality. Without it, potential remains just that, potential. Every small step you take toward your goal builds momentum, creating an unstoppable force that propels you forward. Action breaks the paralysis of fear and doubt and replaces it with certainty and progress. You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to be willing to move, to risk, to fail, and to rise again. The journey is messy, but is also beautiful because it is uniquely yours. Commit to taking bold, deliberate steps every single day, knowing that each one is an investment in the life you are building. Your future self will thank you for the courage you show today. The power to change, to rise, to become is within you. No one else can give it to you, and no one can take it away. It is your birthright, waiting to be claimed. The time to claim it is now. Breathe deeply, stand firmly, step forward with a heart ablaze. You are unstoppable. There is a voice inside you that is waiting to be heard, a voice that knows your worth, even when the world tells you otherwise. Voice is not just a whisper, it is a roar hidden beneath layers of doubt and fear demanding to break free. The moment you choose to listen, you awaken something extraordinary. You awaken the fierce conviction that you deserve more, that you are capable of more, and that nothing outside of you has the power to define your value. This realization is more than just a thought. It is a revolution within your soul. It shifts everything. When you begin to honor that voice, you begin to live with purpose, intention, unshakable confidence. You stop shrinking to fit the expectations of others and start expanding to become the fullest expression of yourself. The freedom that comes with this choice is unlike any other. Freedom from fear, from self-doubt, from the invisible chains that have held you captive. This transformation demands courage because it means standing alone in your truth when it feels easier to blend in, to silence yourself, to conform. Inside you lies a strength far greater than the comfort of conformity. That strength is forged in moments when you refuse to back down, when you choose to rise despite the weight of uncertainty. It is not about being fearless. It is about feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. Each time you do this, your resilience grows. You become someone who no longer waits for permission, approval, or validation. You become someone who creates their own path with clarity and determination. The journey may be hard, but the rewards are profound: authentic joy, deep fulfillment, and a life lived on your own terms. Your mind is a powerful instrument. It must be trained with care and intention. Negative thoughts are like weeds. If left unchecked, they will choke the garden of your potential. But with discipline, you can cultivate a mental landscape that nurtures growth and possibility. This means catching the lies you tell yourself before they take root and replacing them with truths that empower. It means practicing gratitude not as a fleeting act, but as a daily commitment to see the good even in struggle. It means silencing the inner critic and amplifying the voice of encouragement. The quality of your thoughts shapes the quality of your reality. When you control the narrative in your mind, you take control of your destiny. Action is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Ideas and dreams alone will never move mountains. It is the consistent, often imperfect, steps toward your vision that create real change. You do not need perfect conditions or absolute certainty to act. You need courage. You need commitment. You need to trust that the process itself will teach you what you need to know. Every time you push through discomfort, every time you choose effort over ease, you build momentum that carries you beyond doubt. You become unstoppable because you no longer rely on motivation to strike. You create your own momentum through discipline and purpose. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Now is the time to take full ownership of your life. No one else can do it for you. No circumstance, no past mistake, no external obstacle has the power to define your future unless you allow it. The power to rise above, to transform, to become is burning inside you right now. Claim it. Embrace it. Move forward with fierce intent. The life you imagine is waiting for you on the other side of fear. Step into it boldly. There is nothing more powerful than a soul on fire with purpose. Every moment you hesitate, you give power to the doubts that keep you confined. But what if you could refuse to feed those doubts? What if instead you chose to fuel your mind with conviction so strong it drowns out every whisper of fear? Your thoughts are not just fleeting shadows. They are the architects of your reality. To change your life, you must first change the way you speak to yourself, the way you view your own potential. Imagine the strength that would arise if your inner dialogue was unwavering in its belief that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are destined to break through every barrier in your path. This is not mere optimism. It is the foundation of transformation. When you accept no limits except those you impose, you ignite a force within that nothing external can extinguish. The power to redefine yourself lies in your hands, but it demands radical honesty. You must confront the excuses that hold you back, the comfortable lies you tell yourself to avoid discomfort. Growth cannot happen in the absence of discomfort. To reach the highest peaks, you must first be willing to walk through the valleys of uncertainty, to stand firm when the world challenges your resolve. This process is not linear. It will test you, push you to your breaking point, and demand more than you thought you had. Yet, within that struggle lies the seed of profound strength. Each time you rise, each time you push through, you become more than you were before. You begin to rewrite the story of who you are and what you are capable of becoming. Understand this: transformation is not about changing what you do on the surface. It is about shifting the very core of your identity. Your habits, your actions, your mindset, they are all reflections of the story you believe about yourself. To change the outcome, you must first change the narrative inside your mind. When you decide that you are someone who overcomes, who perseveres, who refuses to settle for mediocrity, your actions will align with that truth. You will start to operate from a place of unstoppable conviction rather than fleeting motivation. This internal shift is the difference between temporary bursts of effort and lasting, stoppable momentum. It's the difference between dreaming about success and embodying success every day. There is immense power in commitment. Commitment to yourself, to your vision, to the relentless pursuit of your highest potential. This commitment is not a vague wish, it is a declaration. It means showing up even when you feel weak, working when you'd rather rest, believing when doubt screams loudest. It means holding yourself accountable with fierce kindness, refusing to negotiate with excuses. When you make this commitment, the universe responds. Doors open where there were walls, opportunities appear where there was emptiness, and clarity emerges from chaos. Your focus sharpens, your energy intensifies, your purpose becomes a guiding light that no darkness can dim. Now is the moment to own your power fully, to embrace the discomfort, to silence the doubts, to commit with unwavering resolve. The life waiting for you